Hello students, once again I am here to explain you the remaining portion of the chapter 1 development. The last day I taught you the World Bank criteria. Today I am going to teach you this UNDP criteria, but before explaining this, let's come to the screen. You can see the heading over here, income and other criteria. When I explained to you in my first lecture regarding individual development, I think you should remember that along with income, so many other things are important in our life, such as security, respect for others, equal treatment, freedom, etc. These all I am talking about individual development. Well, but when we are talking about national development, or when we are talking about comparing development levels of two or more countries, according to World Bank criteria, only per capita income should be considered. But according to UNDP criteria, per capita income also should be considered. Along with per capita income, some other measures should also be considered, or some other attributes should also be considered. What are those? Let me explain you. First, look at this table 1.3. Carefully look here. Here, the per capita income of select states are there. What are those three states? Haryana, Kerala and Bihar. And per capita income is given for 2015 and 16 in rupees. For Haryana, you can see it is 1,62,034 rupees per capita per annum. For Kerala, it is 1,40,190 per annum per capita. For Bihar, it is 31,454. So, according to the per capita income criteria, if we consider the developmental level of these three states, which state we will consider the most developed? Obviously, it's Haryana. In the second place, it's Kerala, and in the third place, it's Bihar. But let us consider some other parameters. Come to table 1.4. Some comparative data on Haryana, Kerala and Bihar. Some other parameters we are going to consider. What are the three parameters? Here it is written infant mortality rate per 1000 live births. Here it is written literacy rate percentage. Here it is written, you should look at the cursor carefully, net attendance ratio. Now, first let me explain you what is infant mortality rate. Infant, what is the meaning of the word infant? Infant means नवजात शिशु, उनको बोला जाता है infant. Mortality means death. तो infant mortality rate और IMR in short it is called. ये क्या समझाता है? What does it explain? It tells you the number of children dying, the number of newborn children dying before attaining the age of 1 year per 1000 live births in that particular year. इसका मतलब क्या है? Suppose 2020 में और suppose 2019 we're talking about. 2019 में suppose 1000 बच्चों का जन्म हुआ, तो उन 1000 बच्चों में कितने बच्चे जीवित है और कितने बच्चों का डेथ हो गया. जितने बच्चों का डेथ हो गया पर 1000 लाइव बर्थ, उनको बोला जाएगा infant mortality rate. तो infant mortality rate, according to infant mortality rate, what is the status of Haryana? हरियाणा में क्या है? 2016 में 33 infant mortality rate. केरला में क्या है? 10. In Bihar, how much it is? 38. Next is literacy rate percent. Literacy rate percent means what? It measures the proportion of literate population in the age of 7 and above. That means 7 साल या उसके ऊपर जो भी बच्चे हैं या जो भी पॉपुलेशन है, उनमें कितने पढ़े लिखे हैं, उनको बोला जाता है लिटरेट पर्सन्स. तो लिटरेसी रेट परसेंट in Haryana it is 82%, in Kerala it is 94%, in Bihar it is 62%. Next parameter is net attendance ratio per 100 persons in secondary stage. Secondary stage means you are talking about age 14 and 15 years in 2013-14. तो net attendance ratio per 100 persons, इसका मतलब क्या है? 100 बच्चों में कितने बच्चे इन द एज ग्रुप ऑफ 14 एंड 15 ईयर्स स्कूल अटेंड कर रहे हैं. कितने बच्चे 14 और 15 साल की उम्र तक स्कूल अटेंड कर रहे हैं इन तीनों स्टेट में. लुक एट द हरियाणा स्टेटस. इन हरियाणा only 61%, in Kerala only 83%, in Bihar only 43%. I should not say in Kerala it's only 83%. In Kerala the net attendance ratio is 83, which is the highest. So if we look at all these three parameters, be it infant mortality rate, be it literacy rate, or be it net attendance ratio, we can see that the status of Kerala is you can say most improved. In infant mortality rate also, Kerala state is the lowest. That means it is having the lowest infant mortality rate. In case of literacy rate percent, it is having the highest literacy rate percent, that is 94. In case of net attendance ratio, मतलब कितने बच्चे स्कूल में जा रहे हैं, in case of net attendance ratio also Kerala is having the highest percentage, that is 83%. So again, let us come to the table 1.3. Table 1.3. It may be that Kerala is having the second place in respect of per capita income. Its per capita income per head per annum is 1,40,190. But in respect of the other three parameters, that is infant mortality rate, literacy rate, and net attendance ratio, it is attaining the peak position. इसका सबसे ज्यादा लिटरेसी रेट परसेंटेज है, इसका सबसे कम इंफेंट मोर्टलिटी रेट है, इसका सबसे ज्यादा नेट अटेंडेंस रेशियो है. स्कूल में जा रहे सबसे ज्यादा कहाँ के बच्चे? केरला के बच्चे. फिर बिहार. कम टू बिहार. इफ वी कंसिडर बिहार, infant mortality rate here it is the highest. That means its health status. Whenever we are talking about infant mortality rate of a particular state or of a particular region, we are talking about the health infrastructure of that particular place. So in Bihar, infant mortality rate is the highest. That means health infrastructure or health facilities are lowest in Bihar. Next is, if we consider the literacy rate percentage, here also we can see it is the lowest, 62% only. And if we consider the net attendance ratio, only 43% of the children in the age group of 14 and 15, they are attending school. That means 57% are not attending school. Just imagine, एक राज्य की 57% बच्चे in the age group of 14 and 15 वो स्कूल जा ही नहीं रहे हैं. So on the basis of all these three parameters, which should be the most developed state? Kerala. It in respect of per capita income, it may be in the second place. But if you consider the other three parameters, that means infant mortality rate, that means if you consider this health status along with this literacy status, we can, or along with this net attendance ratio, we can say that Kerala is having the higher position out of all these three states. In the first position it is Kerala in respect of developmental growth rate, and in the second position it is Haryana, in the third position it is Bihar. So what does this UNDP criteria says? UNDP, that means United Nations Development Program criteria, it says that along with per capita income, we have to consider the health status, we have to consider the literacy status of a particular region or a particular country to compare the developmental level of that particular country with other countries. So along with per capita income, we have to consider the literacy status, also the health status of that country. Next, let's come to this one, public facilities. This is page number, I think this is page number 11. Public facilities. What is the meaning of this word public facilities? Public facilities means what? The facilities which are enjoyed by the common public. So many facilities are there which are enjoyed by the common public. Roads, suppose roads, transport, communication, public parks, government schools, government hospitals, all these are public facilities provided by the government. Simply we can say that it is the collective facilities enjoyed by the people of a country. On the basis of the public facilities available in a particular country, we can consider the developmental level of that country. Suppose, let me give an example. Suppose you are living in a locality Okay, and in that locality suppose 20 houses are there, and you want total safety and security of your locality, and if 20 individual houses are appointing separate security guards, they have to shell out a large chunk of money from their pocket. But instead of that, if they're appointing a single security personnel or a single security agency to look after the safety and security of that particular area, it will be much cheaper, because it will be considered as the public facility which is sponsored by the individuals living on that particular area, or the 20 houses living on that particular area. मतलब जब भी हम कोई पब्लिक फैसिलिटी एंजॉय करते हैं, उसमें कलेक्टिवली हम एंजॉय करते हैं, जिसके लिए हमें पैसा भी कम देना होता है. तो all these are very much important. Along with income, we have to think about the public facilities of the government which our country is enjoying. Next is, see here, one activity is there here, activity 2. One table is there. This is your activity. One table is there, 1.5, educational achievement of rural population of Uttar Pradesh. One table is there where the category is there, literacy rate for rural population. The male literacy rate is 76%. The female literacy rate is 54%. Next is what? Next category is what? Literacy rate for rural children in the age group of 10 to 14 years. What is the male percentage? 90%. What is the female percentage? 87%. Next category is what? Percentage of rural children aged 10 to 14 attending school. What is the male percentage? 85%. What is the female percentage? 82%. Now come to the activity. Some blanks are there. You have to fill up the blanks yourself. I can help you. Look at this A. The literacy rate for all age groups including young and old is dash for rural males and dash for rural females. What you will write in dash over here? Obviously for rural males how much it is? 76%. For rural females how much it is? 54%. So you will write over here 76% and 54%. Next, come to this one. However, it is not just that these many adults could not attend school, but there are many, you will write here many, who are currently not in schools. I am telling you the answers. You have to write all these in your notebook. Also, when you are getting you are going to get your books, you have to fill up these blanks yourself. And I am going to check. Next, come to B. It is clear from the table that dash % of rural girls and dash % of rural boys are not attending school. Look at this, not attending school. यहाँ पे क्या दिया हुआ है? Percentage of rural children aged 10 to 14 attending school. जो बच्चे 10 to 14 के एज ग्रुप में स्कूल अटेंड कर रहे हैं उनका परसेंटेज दिया हुआ है. 85% मेल है और 82% फीमेल है. लेकिन यहाँ पे क्या पूछा जा रहा है? The dash % of rural girls and dash % of rural boys are not attending school. So how you can get the not attending school? By just doing the subtraction from 100, you can get the non-attending. So how much you will write here? Percentage of rural girls who are not attending school, 100 minus 82, that means 18%. And percentage of rural boys, they are not attending school, how much it is? 100 minus 85, that means 15%. So you will write over here 18% and 15%. Next is, therefore, illiteracy among children in the age group 10 to 14 is as high as dash % for rural females. Look at this word illiteracy. Illiteracy means ashiksha. Literacy means शिक्षा. तो यहाँ पे literacy rate दिया हुआ है. तो literacy rate दिया हुआ है means you can get the illiteracy rate how? By again this following the same procedure, subtracting from 100. So 100 minus 87. What is that? 13%. So 13% for rural females and 100 minus 90. That means 10% for rural males. That is your illiteracy rate. Next, come to C. This high level of illiteracy among dash age group. Which age group we are talking about? 10 to 14. So I have told you the answers. I have told you the answer of A, B and C. You have to listen to me carefully and then you have to fill up the blanks yourself. Next, activity 3. In this activity 3, it is explained the BMI. The BMI is explained. What is the full form of BMI? Body Mass Index. How you can, what is the need to calculate the body mass index? What is the need to calculate the body mass index? The need is that by calculating the body mass index, you can know whether you are underweight or whether you are overweight. Underweight means what? Whether you are malnourished, you are not getting your proper food, proper diet. And overweight means whether you have to reduce your diet to be in proper weight. So how to calculate the body mass index? Body mass index, simple formula is there. Weight divided by height square. Weight in kg. And then let me explain you here. Weight in kg. What is body mass index? What is body mass index? Weight in kg divided by height square. Height in meter. That means how we can calculate the body mass index? We have to measure the weight of a person in kg and we have to measure the height of the person in meter. After that, in numerator it will be weight in kg and in denominator it will be height square. After calculating the BMI, if we see that it is more than 25, then we will say that the person is overweight. And if it is less than 18.5, we will say that the person is undernourished or underweight. So on the basis of calculating the BMI, we can get the health status of different persons. So today I have explained you this UNDP criteria. I think it's clear to you. In my next class, the remaining portion of the chapter I'll explain. Thank you.